Welcome, beloved, to this week's Bibliomancy. I'll be sharing with you stories of Black psychics throughout time as I celebrate Black History Month, but also honoring the lineage, the gifts, and the inner guidance of the women who have not only influenced my life, but continue to guide me to this day. Now, I know many of us have ancestors who had gifts and shared them regularly. And I shared in my previous video about how in the enslaved plantation, on the enslaved and plantations, many believed and had a practicing fortune teller and conjure woman. And so I want to start at the very beginning that I know of that starts with a book. And that amazing woman is no other than Miss Sojourner Truth. I am so grateful to have a copy of this book in my hand, and I'll be sharing two other ones of women that I'll be sharing as well. But I want to dive in to Miss Sojourner Truth because she's about a generation ahead of our beloved sister Harriet Tubman. And so I just want to read a little bit here from the narrative of Harriet Tubman. And I am going to move around just a little bit. Having but recently emerged from the gloomy night of slavery, ignorant and untaught in all that gives value to human existence, she was still suffering from the burden of acquired and transmitted habits incidental to her past condition of servitude. Yet she was one of those life forces and moral perceptions so powerful and clear-cut that she not only came from this moral gutter herself, but largely assisted in elevating others of her race from a similar state of degradation. It was the oil of divine origin which quickened her soul and fed the vital spark that her own indomitable courage fanned to its undying flame. She was one of the first to enlist in the war against slavery and fought the battles for freedom side by side its noble leaders. A true sentinel, she slumbered not at her post to hasten the disenfranchisement of her people was the great work to which she consecrated her life. Yet responsive to the calls of humanity, she cheerfully lent her aid to the advancement of other reforms, especially women's rights and temperance. During the last 25 years, she traveled thousands of miles, lectured in many United States unions, spoke in Congress, and received tokens of friendship such as few can produce. It was not an hour not too soon to be forgotten, for it is not often, even in the magnanimous age of progress, that we see reverend senators, even him that holds the second chair in the gift of the republic, vacate their seats in the hall of the state to extend a hand of welcome. The meed of praise and substantial blessings to a poor Negro woman, whose poor old form, bending under the burden of nearly 40 years, tells but too plainly that her marvelously strange life is drawing to a close. But it is as refreshing as it was strange to see her who had served in the shackles of slavery in the great state of New York for nearly a quarter of a century before a majority of these senators were now born, holding a levee with them in the marble room. Truly, the spirit of progress is abroad in the land, and the leaven of love is working in the hearts of its people, pointing to the unerring certainty to the not far distant future, when the ties of affection shall cement all nations, kindreds, and tongue under one common brotherhood. She carries with her a book that she calls Book of Life, which contains the autographs of many distinguished personages, the great and the good of the land. No better idea can be given of the estimation in which she held than transcribing these testimonials and giving them to the public. It was the divine idea of Miss Tubman's work and her sacred book of life that I was guided to create the Cosmic Life book. And so, you know, our ancestors are always speaking to us, and I had no idea about her book of life until I read this passage. And I had already created my Cosmic Life books. And so this is why I consider Harriet Tubman one of my spirit guides. There are many. I'll be sharing with you readings also from Mama Lola, the voodoo priestess in Harlem, as also beloved, this is a big book, Pamela Coleman Smith, the biracial artist who supported the first tarot deck. So I'll be diving into that, as well as discussing Madame Marie Laveau, Tituba, Miss Cleo, and of course Harriet Tubman. I invite you to come on this sacred journey with me. So please like, subscribe, comment, and share this valuable insight. And remember, you can always listen to my podcast, which is I'm Not Crazy, I'm Clairvoyant. That is both the title and a message. You are not crazy. Most likely, you are clairvoyant. Thank you. Ashe.